Hello, thank you for joining us today at our Symposium of the Crusaders. Our panelists this afternoon will be telling us their opinions on the Crusades. And we're going to start today with Mr. Eliezer ben Judah.
Eliezer ben Judah was born in 1165 in the town of Mace to the Cullingworth family. He grew up being a religious boy, and then he made a family and had 3 kids, 2 daughters and a son. Their names were Balat and Hannah, the 2 daughters, and the son was Jacob. In the Second Crusade, 2 crusaders came and slaughtered them. Eliezer ben Judah was left with scars on him, and he survived, but he does not know how. After that, he had no support because his wife was his support. Here's Eliezer ben Judah.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Does anybody have any questions?
Not yet. We need to listen to other people.
My bad.
Sorry. Sorry, Mr. ben Judah. We'll get to you in a moment. Mr. Usama, welcome. Okay. Saladin.
This is Saladin. He was born in 1138 in Damascus, in Syria. He was a powerful leader throughout the Crusades. He actually fought a lot, and he made a peace treaty with King Richard.
Thank you, King Richard.
Yeah, because you're a good guy.
Wherever you are down there.
But then he killed 2,700 of your people.
Yeah, and then he killed 2,700 people because he's like
jerk.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Not thanks.
Hey,
Keep going. Sorry.
And because he's violent. And once the peace treaty was signed, King Richard went back to England, and they stayed in Jerusalem, and they were happy.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Eliezer ben Nathan.
Eliezer ben Nathan was born in 1090. He was famous for being a liturgical poet. He was born on the Arabian Peninsula. One of his articles was about how the European Crusaders stole, raided, and murdered many of the Jewish people who decided not to convert to Christianity.
Thank you very much. And who do you bring with us today, sir?
This is King Richard the First, also known as Richard the Lionheart. He is from England and was elected to be King of England. One of his achievements was that he fought in the First Crusade. He was honored to fight God. I welcome you. He was honored to fight for God. I welcome you, King Richard the Lionheart.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah, he had this on his back.
I know. Thank you.
Jesus.
Hello, Anna.
Anna Comnenus was born in 1083. She was the first child of Emperor Alexius and Empress Irene of the Byzantine Empire. She was expected to be the next empress of the Byzantine Empire, but that changed when her mother was born just a few years later. When the Crusaders arrived, she was very amazed by the amount of Crusaders and of the violence.
Thank you very much. Okay, now I'm going to be fielding questions from reporters. Let's start with Mr. ben Judah. Does anybody have any questions for ben Judah?
Yes, you.
What did one of your relatives do?
Well, one of my relatives, my uncle actually, he led the Jewish defense against the Crusaders.
And what kinds of things did you study?
I studied many things, but some of the main things I studied was astronomy, and I also studied the Talmud, and that was about the Torah, and the Torah is the Jewish Bible. Yep.
I'm sorry, agents, you guys can go ahead and take your seat with the reporters now. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. ben Judah. Usama.
Yes.
Are there any reporters here today that might have questions for him?
You.
Describe your father and how did he influence you?
My father was very respected in the Quran, strength in battle, bravery, honor, and devotion to the Quran.
What was your education and childhood like?
I was surrounded by danger because of the Crusades. I was taught not to be afraid of the danger and to accept the judgment of God. I was taught by private tutors to learn grammar, writing, Quran, and poetry.
What did you write extensively about?
I wrote extensively about Muslims, of their dedication, and the heroic actions of Muslim women.
And how did you refer to the Crusaders in your writing?
I would call them devils and infidels, and comment that they should be cursed by God.
That's deep.
Thank you. Okay, now questions for Saladin.
Yes, Jacob.
So, how did it make you feel when the Crusaders invaded?
Actually, when the Crusaders invaded, I was very traumatized as a child because they came and slaughtered the people of my religion and my friends, family, and neighbors. And yes.
Is it true that you were the assistant of Nur Alden?
Yes, it is.
That you were what?
The
Assistant of Nur Alden.
yes, I was.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Saladin.
No problem.
And now we have Eliza bin Nathan. Reporters, do you have any questions for Eliza bin Nathan?
Oh, yes, right here. So, I've heard about you, but who exactly are you?
I am a Jewish poet and writer. I was born in 1090, several years before the First Crusade.
1090. It's amazing.
And also, I've heard about the persecution of 1096. What exactly is it?
The persecution of 1096 is one of my chronicles. It describes how the Jews were brutally attacked in the First Crusade.
You risked your life to write that book, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I thought so. You're brave. Mr. King Richard, anybody have questions for him?
I have a question.
Oh, you.
Why did you tax people heavily?
I taxed people heavily for my soldiers and I so we could fight on the Third Crusade.
After a while, I heard that didn't work anymore. How else did you raise money?
I sold government offices to the highest bidders.
I bet that made for a corrupt government. Thank you. And Anna, how are you today, Anna?
Good.
Anna, anybody have any questions for her? Princess Anna? Okay.
How did your father treat the Crusaders?
My father treated the Crusaders with respect.
Did you get a good education?
I got a good education because of my high role of a princess.
What were you the princess of?
The Byzantine Empire.
Wow. Thank you. Okay, reporters, we're going to do one more round of, maybe two more round of questions, but we're going to start now going the opposite way. So let's do two more questions for Anna.
Okay. What shocked you about the Crusades?
It shocked me how many Christian crusaders there were.
Where were you born?
I was born in 1083 in Constantinople.
Thank you very much. King Richard.
Hannah.
What did you do when the Muslim leader took too long to follow through on the peace treaties?
I ordered 2,700 deaths of Muslims.
Wow.
Inside acres walls.
That was very mean.
What did you do when you realized you could not capture the city from the Muslims?
I turned around without seeing Jerusalem.
Okay, thank you.
You never did get to see Jerusalem, did you, King Richard?
No, I did not.
No. Okay, Eliza bin Nathan.
So anyway, to keep going about the persecution of 1096, why was that important?
The persecution of 1096 is important because it was one of the 3 Jewish counts in the First Crusade.
What does this tell us?
It tells you how the Jewish were really treated really bad, how in the First Crusade by the Christians when they were attacked.
Thank you. Saladin, anybody have questions for him?
Jacob.
What year did you become the leader of Syria in Egypt?
1160, I think. Pretty sure.
And
Yeah, 1170. something. 4. Yes. 1174. That's what
When
it
did
was.
you realize you couldn't defeat the Third Crusade?
What was the question again?
When did you realize you couldn't defeat the Third Crusade?
That